The park where Ben and Kate had spent their childhood was still there, though the years had changed it. The trees were taller, their branches twisting high into the sky, and the playground was now faded and rusted. But as Ben and Anna stepped onto the soft earth, there was a sense of familiarity, a feeling that this place held something they had both been searching for, even if they didn't know it yet. They walked in silence, Ben clutching the scarf in one hand and the note in the other. Anna followed closely, her heart beating faster with every step. "It should be around here," Ben said quietly, leading her to a grove of trees near the edge of the park. "We used to bury them under that old oak. It was her favorite spot." The tree was still there, its gnarled roots breaking through the soil like ancient fingers. Ben knelt down, running his hand over the ground as if searching for a memory. "I hope it's still here," he murmured. They began digging together, their hands working quickly to pull away the dirt. The minutes stretched on, and Anna could feel Ben's frustration growing. "What if it's gone?" he said, his voice tinged with despair. "What if this was all for nothing?" Anna placed a hand on his shoulder. "It's not for nothing," she said gently. "Even if we don't find it, this matters. You're here. You're trying." Ben looked at her, his expression softening. He nodded, then kept digging. Finally, their hands hit something solid, a small metal box, rusted at the edges but intact. Ben froze, staring at it as though it might disappear if he moved too quickly. "It's here," he whispered. Anna smiled. "Go ahead, open it." With trembling hands, Ben lifted the box from the earth and pried it open. Inside, nestled among scraps of paper and trinkets from their childhood, was a small leather journal with Kate's name written on the cover. Ben opened the journal carefully, his fingers brushing over the familiar handwriting. The first few pages were filled with Kate's thoughts, simple moments, childhood memories, dreams for the future. But as he turned the pages, he found a letter addressed to him. "Ben," it began, "I don't know when you'll find this, but I hope it's at a time when you need it most. I always said we should leave parts of our story behind, just in case. This is my part, something to remind you of the things that matter." Ben's hands trembled as he read aloud. Anna listened in silence, her chest tightening at the raw emotion in his voice. "You've always been the strong one," the letter continued, "even when you didn't feel like it. But strength isn't just about carrying the weight of the world. It's about letting go when you need to, about letting others help you. I hope you know it's okay to lean on people. It's okay to keep living, even after loss." Ben paused, his voice breaking. Anna reached out, placing her hand over his. "There's more," she said softly. He nodded, clearing his throat, and kept reading. "I want you to know that I'm proud of you, no matter where life takes you. And if you ever feel lost, remember this. You're not alone. You never have been." The letter ended simply, but its words lingered in the air. Ben closed the journal, his tears falling freely now. "I didn't know I needed to hear that," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Anna smiled, her own eyes glistening. Sometimes we don't know what we need until we find it. They left the park as the sun began to set, the journal tucked safely under Ben's arm and the scarf wrapped around his shoulders. For the first time in a long time, Ben felt lighter, like the weight he'd been carrying had begun to lift. He glanced at Anna as they walked, gratitude shining in his eyes. "Thank you," he said simply. Anna smiled. "For what?" "For helping me find this. For being here." They walked in comfortable silence back to the shop, the glow of the streetlights guiding their way. When they arrived, Anna paused before unlocking the door. "You know," she said, "I think Kate would be proud of you, of everything you've done to honor her." Ben smiled faintly, the corners of his mouth lifting in a way that felt like the beginning of something new.